We are flawless. Amen. Justin, you're up.
Before we start, I just want to thank Bill, Sue, and Nate for helping us with the presentation. Like Sandy said, it's not easy. It's not easy to stand up here and show the world our flaws. I want to thank my husband, John, for putting this together, because without John, we wouldn't have had that presentation up there, because I was like, no, let's not do that. But we did it. And Sandy, thank you. Thank you for an awesome message. That was just awesome. I read her sermon on Friday. She sent it to me. And I cried. I'm going to cry again. John came home from work and I read it again. And I read it to John and I cried again. And as you see, I'm crying now because that's just me. But most of all, I want to thank Justin. John and I used to talk to each other and say, we don't think Justin's going to graduate high school. We don't think Justin's going to ever hold a job. We don't think Justin's going to do the things that normal kids do. But look at Justin. Justin graduated from Orleans County Christian School. And I cried. I cried from the beginning to the end. I cried. And I cried and I cried. He sat on stage and sang a song with his buddies that he graduated with, and I cried. He's also made very large accomplishments in his life. Besides graduating, he's held his job down for a year. A whole year. Justin's held a job for a year! Sorry, I just get excited about that. I know! I'm so happy. He also holds a black belt in Taekwondo, which some of you know. We had a little celebration here a couple years ago. That was a very proud moment for Johnny and I. Very, very proud. Thank you, Justin. Okay, wait. Hold on. Yeah, I got some. I think everybody's got that. But we do. We love him. We support him. We're so proud of him. It's been a roller coaster ride. It really, really has. Justin's 19 now. And Justin's a fine young man. Fine young man. Very proud of him. There were sleepless nights for him and I both. Both of us were crying back in those days. Justin was crying and I was crying. There were a lot of meltdowns. Like one time we were in the middle of Tops. And I have a grocery cart full of groceries. And he has a look on his face right now. I'm not even going to look at him. He's going, what is my mother going to say? And I push in the grocery cart. And then with autistic children, we never know what sets them off. It could be a smell. It could be a sound. It could be a light. It could be Mom crying. Could be anything. Well, Justin decided with the grocery cart full of groceries, he was going to have a meltdown. And in the meltdown, Justin wiped off an aisle of groceries. An aisle of groceries went with us. And people were looking at me and staring at me and saying very rude comments. So Justin and I, politely as you can carry out a kicking, screaming child, got up, left the cart, and walked on the Tops. And I can tell you for years, I didn't go back to Tops. Because I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed. But then we went back to Tops. And Justin had another meltdown. And we were in line this time. And the lady behind us said, can't you control your tongue? And I said, sure I can. But do you want to try? And Justin and I left the car. And we walked out of Tops. So I'm not real good with shopping Tops. You know? Not real good there. We have Tops. But we've come really far. Justin goes to Tops. Shops at Aldi's. Does all those things. But we've had, times where we went to Camp Asbury. And if you guys were here last year, Hale asked me to speak, and I spoke, and I was nervous about it too, just like you know. We spoke about Justin going to Camp Asbury. And we had to take his whole cooler of his foods, because on top of him and Asperger's, Justin has food allergies on top of everything else. And all the way down, I said to Johnny, I kept whispering, he's not going to stay. He's not going to stay. This is all a week, and he's not even going to stay. So we got there, and we pulled Justin out of the vehicle, literally pulled him Pastor Larry at the time came over and he said, come on, Justin. We turned around and there went Justin. So we went into the kitchen. Do you remember going into the kitchen?
I remember the second year. I remember the first year.
We went into the kitchen and he took over the kitchen. He started telling the ladies, this is my food, this is what I have to have, this is what I'm going to make, blah, blah, blah. The ladies welcomed him right in, he made his own food. He just took over the kitchen. So, you know, and he stayed the whole week. He stayed the whole week. He couldn't call me, so he stayed the whole week. But then there was times like Jack, his bus driver. Remember Jack?
Yeah.
Jack was wonderful. Jack started with Justin in kindergarten, and Justin was diagnosed also with separation anxiety. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but he couldn't leave me. But I thought I couldn't leave him. I think I had it too. But we would literally push Justin on the bus, and Jack Hansen, wonderful man, would grab Justin's hand and pull him onto the bus and shut the door at the same time. And he was crying and I was crying. We lived on 104, and of course the bus would go by, and then the bus would go by again. And I was still standing in the same spot just crying. And he'd already be on the bus and he'd be fine. But I was crying. Well, we got a new bus driver. Justin didn't do well with that because that was change. And kids with autism don't do well with change. So we had to prep Justin for, we have a new bus driver, blah, blah, blah. That was Sandra. Wonderful woman. She also helped Justin. So a couple more years went by, years and years went by, and we put Justin in OCCS, and up comes the bus for Justin for his senior year, and we're laughing, and it's totally different than it was in kindergarten because he's getting on the bus, and who pulls up? Jack. Jack pulls up and Justin gets on the bus and I'm crying, and I don't know if Justin was crying that day, but I was crying again. And I said to Justin, we gotta take a photo, because we had a photo of Justin getting on the first day. We took a photo of Justin getting on his last day as a senior. So that's my little story about Justin. We love him and we're proud of him. And I'm not nervous anymore. Okay, we're gonna do some questions and answers. I have some that were sent to us that were kind of prepared because, once again, with people on the spectrum, it has to be prepared. They have to know in advance what's going on, what's going to happen, as much as you possibly can. And the first question was from Dorothy. And Dorothy asked me, what type of autism does Justin
And you've
have?
answered that.
What's that?
I said you've already answered that.
Yes, Justin has Asperger's. It's a lot of routine, it's a lot of scheduling, like we talked about. It's a lot of loud noises. Justin wore big headphones for many years. We'd go to sporting events and Justin would wear these big headphones so we didn't hear the noise. Justin wanted to mow the lawn. He'd wear big headphones because he couldn't stand the sound and the vibration of the lawn. Justin has certain foods that he will not eat because of textures. I would make spaghetti and Justin would go. I would make chili. I would make a hamburger and he would eat it. But we figured out Justin didn't like the texture of the burger and the sauce. He did not like that. So Mom had to cook separate meals. Well, what's that? What's that? So, you know, and like me, Justin spends a lot of alone time. Not anymore, because he has his wonderful girlfriend. He would spend hours in his bedroom. Hours. And I would say to Johnny, what is he doing out there? Why is he not down here? What is going on? Well, like me, Justin's a gamer. He's a video game player, like most teenage kids are nowadays, but Justin is definitely a gamer. Are you still a gamer?
Okay, sorry.
Justine? Is he still a gamer?
Yes.
But there was things that Justin loved to do. Gaming was one of them. His trampoline was a lifesaver. Honestly, God, lifesaver. We have a picture of him flying high on his trampoline that Georgia Renee Mama took years ago. When Justin didn't feel right, when Justin didn't feel like he wanted to be around any of us or, socialize or whatever. Justin went to his trampoline. And it didn't matter if it was 90 degrees out or 9 below. Justin was on his trampoline because that was his safe place.
It'd be pouring outside, I'd still be out there.
Yeah. Yeah. One year we set it up in our barn because we didn't think it would make it through the winter without having his trampoline as his little safe place. So, he doesn't do social sports. We tried that. That was not good. We tried all of them. We tried every one of them. He did well with tennis because tennis was more one-on-one for Justin. We did okay with tennis. We did awesome, like I said, with taekwondo. He became a black belt. That boy is a black belt. Okay, here you go. You ready? Oh, we already answered this one too. What did Justin do to calm himself when he was stressed or had any meltdown?
Trampoline?
Well, video gaming.
Oh, yeah. More stress than anything later in the years, but.
How well, this was another question online, and this was from Lois, and she told me she couldn't be here today. She wanted to ask this question. How well does Justin's girlfriend understand him?
It's a growing process. Stand up.
Okay.
I don't sit down and talk, I have to move. It's a growing process for her. She is very go with the flow. I, unfortunately, am not. She can tell you offhand, I have to know what's going on in every waking moment. If we're doing something tomorrow, I have to know today. Little things bother me. Little things, and I know it's hard on her. Like we said, my mom said I have food allergies. For me, thank you, I'm glad that most of them I have grown out. Fortunately, some I have not. Once again, it's a growing process with her. If you don't know what happens when I eat certain foods I'm not supposed to, it affects me mentally. Some people break out in hives, some people throw up. I become a jerk. I do. For example, I told her this in a relationship. I was doing something, and she was on her phone. It was making some kind of sound. And it set me off. In my head, I was like, why did she just get off that? I'm trying to play this game, blah, blah, blah. Me just being a jerk, and in my head, I go, what am I doing? Why do I feel this way? And I told her straight up, this is what happens. And I don't know if that's because of the food allergies and my Asperger's mixed, but like I said, just little things bother me. Thank God she's still with me. I wouldn't be. Are you kidding me? I'm a handful. But no, she does really well. Like I said, it's a growing process, and I appreciate that everything she's done for me. So.
Thank you, Justin.
No.
Yes, Pete.
I remember quite a few years back when he was much smaller. He was wanting out fairly weed and some things. Remember that?
I do.
And I spoke a little harshly to Shirley about something. He said to me, "You don't talk to her like that."
Yeah. Because like Sandy also said, like Sandy said about Nate, Justin worries about everybody. He cares about everybody. If I'm not home, when I'm supposed to be home from work, Justin is calling me. And if I don't answer the phone, he's texting me. And my phone literally is vibrating in my pocket as I'm driving. I'm thinking, I'm coming. I'm gonna get there. But he's always been like that. It's always been, and like Pete said, Justin sometimes has no filter. And by no filter, we mean he says things truthfully and honestly and from his heart. And when he feels somebody is saying something that's wrong or hurtful, he feels he needs to correct them. He needs to express that to them so they know that they're hurting somebody else. And I feel, Pete, that's what he was, trying to help you with. Yes, Joanne?
Mr. Bill and I have known Justin for a lot of years. We have seen the meltdowns.
Yes.
And the only thing I should say now is he's turned into one night down.
I don't know, does everybody, Justin wants to know, does everybody understand what a meltdown is? He will do it. He will.
I'd rather not.
He's very good at it. He's had a lot of years of practice. He's, do you want to explain what a meltdown is? Because maybe, I don't know. Do you guys, I don't know, we've lived it for so long. We just, you know.
Do you guys know what it is? You know what a tantrum is? Somebody throws himself on the floor, you know, kicks and screams like get what they want. Yeah, times that by like 10, and that's what you get. Verbal, physical, anything in the book I've probably said. And the thing is they've told me stories that I don't even remember. I don't. There's a dent in the door for me throwing a shoe, I think it was. I don't know what it was. They told me that story. I don't remember it. There's one thing that I do remember, and they've said the same thing, that I would have these meltdowns. I'd go 5 minutes somewhere else, come back, like, all right, what's for dinner? What's the problem? What's going on? And like nothing ever happened. And I guess in my eyes, nothing ever did happen, because like I said, to this day, I don't remember just about any of it. So, kicking, screaming, throwing things, every name in the book, biting, hitting, anything. That was a meltdown. So.
Yes.
Do you know what's going to set you off?
No. Nope. No idea. It's a lot easier now because, like we said, we got tested for food allergies, so it's a lot easier. And it boiled down to that was one of the big things. We went for, I don't know how many years we had Dr. Sam's.
Oh, a long time.
Dr. Sam, what do they call him? For prescriptions. I don't know what exactly his name is.
He's got a lot of them.
Yeah.
He's just a doctor.
He was the doctor.
Psychiatrist we went and seen. He was, you know, we've seen a lot of doctors.
For years, it was like, this was the problem. No, this was the problem. All right, well, let's try this, and let's try this, and let's try this. And it boiled down to Mom saying, all right, we're done. Obviously, nothing is working. We'll take him off medication. And for 2 weeks, like I said, I don't remember any of this. This is all stories I've heard. So none of this is going to be true.
You're in a church.
But no, it's been a long road, and from my eyes, from what I've seen, it's definitely different. They say you don't see a change as you grow older. Everybody else sees it around you. I do. I personally do. From where we began to where we are now, it's definitely a big difference.
A lot of times, I know with maybe meltdowns happen when there's a change in routine.
Yes, that was
You guys
one.
told about it
I
beforehand.
forgot about that one, yes.
So having been seen through all these years of your life so far, what would you say to your parents right now?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for putting up with me. Seriously.
We would have put up with no matter what. We're very proud of him. We are. We're extremely. I mean, I'm going to start crying.
Darlene, I just want to say, you know, we had Justin and Matt doing the plays and singing and
Uh-huh.
stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Long time
You
ago.
were the,
Yes.
you were the football
Yes.
girl.
Wow.
Yes. You know, talented. And I knew that you and John were very frustrated. Because at that point, he was just being naughty and you couldn't figure out why.
Right.
You figured out he had food allergies and you couldn't have the Oreos that were at children's messages. And Mom promised you a better treat afterwards.
Yes.
And you were so good. But I will tell you that there are so many parents who get to the point where they just don't know and they give up and the children just suffer. And it takes a lot to be your own advocate, but to be your child advocate on top of that is wonderful. And I am so glad that you keep pushing. Thank you. Because Justin, buddy, what a difference. You have, as much as I enjoyed you and Max, and I did, absolutely. But you are in control of yourself and you understand what you're going through, and it's just wonderful. Kudos to you guys all. Thank you.
Is the meltdown always short term, like minutes, or can it go into days?
He wants to know if a meltdown is a short term. Is it minutes or is it days? It was minutes. It felt like an eternity. It really did. But it was minutes. And his mood, like he said, would change instantly. Instantly. He would go upstairs and just, John and I would be like, wow, just wound up. Like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? How are we going to solve this? What's going on with him? And he'd be up there, I don't know, 15 minutes and come back down and say, hey, what's going on? I'd be like, what do you mean, what's going on? He's like, Mom, what's the matter? And I'd usually be crying, or, you know, John and I would be like, ah. I won't say those choice words we use. You know, and he was just as calm could be, like nothing happened. You know, so it usually was minutes. His mood swings were minutes, days, years. Sometimes. Yes, Faith?
I'm going to interject only because every autistic child is different. And
Yep.
His were not minutes, somewhere. His would less days. He took my shoulder out. He doesn't do it now, but just realize that every kid that you come in contact with that's on the spectrum, they're all different. So we would go 2-3 days. He doesn't remember them either. We don't have them now, but so yeah. Sometimes minutes, sometimes days, sleepless nights, 72 hours at a time. So they're all different. They all have similarities, but they're all so different.
Just like everybody is. Children on the autism spectrum are all different. You know, there's mild to wild, it's everywhere. It's, you know. So, do you have a question, buddy?
Yeah. What kind of video games do you play?
Name it after I played it.
What kind of video games do you play? To know, wants to know.
What's your favorite one?
Call of Duty.
There you go. Yes, Bill.
I can remember when we used to go out to Orchard Creek and out to Bill and Joanne's and we had parties out there. And my mom would come and she was getting along with me and didn't always remember. But she met Justin. She has a grandson, Justin. And she thought Justin was her grandson. And he never said, no, I'm not. He never said. The thing that impresses me is the generosity of spirit in Justin and the big hearts. You guys both are wonderful people, families of good Christians. And I used to call Justin the boy. Today I realized I have to start calling him the man.
I had Justin, a T-ball coach, with Justin Morgan. Do you remember that?
Yes,
And
actually.
Justin would run around the bases. Justin would do whatever we asked him to because he just wanted to be busy. So as long as he could catch or pitch, bat, he was fine. But if he had to sit and wait, that was a problem. But yeah, what difference?
Even to this day, I'm very impatient.
No, we're done. We appreciate all you guys are listening, and you know, we're trying to open up your eyes and your hearts and your minds to the awareness of autism. It's out there. A lot of people aren't aware of it. A lot of people think that kids are bad, they're naughty, or us parents don't know what we're doing. And believe you me, I'm gonna be the first parent to say,
You don't know what we're
I don't know what I'm doing. Exactly. But, you know, be kind to one another. Just be kind to one another. Thank you.
How do you feel?
I'm getting there. So if I say one more doctor, I should move you. Just one more? Just one more?
One more check.
We're down there too. He was sleeping, and I'm like, oh.
Mayor, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing, how about you?
Good, good, good.